Good day. It's March 23rd, 2026. The internal battle within the Republican Party over the SAVE Act, the legislation being pushed by the Trump administration through Speaker Mike Johnson, which Democrats and voting rights activists say will only make it harder for minorities and immigrants to vote, is not continuing to fracture further the House GOP and the Senate GOP. I'm Jessica Rolla. Welcome to The Pulse. A group of 41 MAGA Republican House lawmakers, led by Florida Congresswoman Ana Paulina Luna, rebelled against Speaker Mike Johnson by not voting for a Senate measure relating to business innovations that was passed by the Senate with bipartisan support. Representative Ana Paulina Luna led the group and is saying we will not vote for any Senate legislation in the House until the SAVE Act is passed by the Senate. The SAVE Act requires any voter who will register to vote in a federal election to show proof of citizenship when they register to vote, and all voters will be required to show a valid photo ID at the time they vote. This legislation, which was introduced in the House of Representatives by Congressman Chip Roy and being pushed by the president, barely passed in the lower chamber, but the Senate had not called for a vote, because Senate Majority Leader John Thune, a Republican from North Dakota, said he doesn't have enough votes to pass it. The SAVE Act requires a vote of 60 senators to defy a filibuster by Democrats. The saga continues with the battle between federal judges in the Eastern District of Virginia against Attorney General Pam Bondi and DOJ prosecutors that the Trump administration keep naming to the post in spite of its illegality. After Lindsay Halligan was pushed out by the judges as U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, the Department of Justice sent 3 U.S. prosecutors to that district and named them as co-prosecutors, all serving as chief prosecutor for the Eastern District of Virginia. Defense lawyers had questioned the legality of having 3 acting U.S. attorneys for the same district and could threaten asking judges to dismiss the cases because the U.S. prosecutor signing the prosecutions are likely on the job unlawfully. Irate judges recognize the impropriety the DOJ is doing and running out of patience. DOJ keeps on bringing in acting U.S. attorneys that stays on the position unlawfully, instead of bringing someone who is confirmed by the U.S. Senate. And since the 120-day rule for the Trump administrator to have a U.S. attorney appointee that is confirmed by the Senate, judges can appoint a career prosecutor from the ranks in that district to be the U.S. attorney, by the White House asking the DOJ to fire prosecutors that the panel of federal judges appoints to be chief prosecutor. Now, the judges in the District of Eastern Virginia, which seats in Alexandria, Virginia, are tired of what the DOJ is doing and now had summoned the 3 co-acting prosecutors to court and to answer questions by the judges under oath. As the legal defeats in federal courts continue for the Trump administration, another decision by the administration has been reversed by a federal judge. Remember Kari Lake, the MAGA candidate for governor in Arizona, who until now had not conceded her defeat? Well, she was appointed to head the Voice of America. And as part of DOGE, crazy idea to shrink everything that is funded by U.S. government through Congress, Kari Lake ordered the termination of more than 600 broadcasters, reporters, and staffers at Voice of America. 400 more were placed on administrative leave. The employees sued Kari Lake and the U.S. Agency for Global Media, the mother agency of the Voice of America. Last week, federal judge Joyce Lamberth, a Ronald Reagan appointee, has blocked Kari Lake, the CEO of U.S. Media Agency, from firing 500 employees and warned in a scathing decision that her agency's disrespect for the court merited a trial for civil contempt. But the judge also wrote that the only reason he was not initiating a civil contempt is that the plaintiffs in the case did not ask for it, but added that the court's decision not to pursue it should not be mistaken for lenience toward the defendant's egregious misconduct. Early this month, Kari Lake ordered that 600 employees be terminated and 400 placed on administrative leave, leaving the U.S. Media Agency with only 100 staff, which includes staffing at Voice of America, which transmits U.S. news to all parts of the world. Lake, who was chosen by Trump to effectively lead the Voice of America. The heart of Judge Lamberth's ruling says that because Kari Lake was in that position unlawfully, that her actions on terminating employees were also unlawful, due to laws that guard against unqualified appointments. Judge Lambert said, only the Appointment Clause or the Vacancies Act exclusive structure may authorize service as a principal officer, and Lake satisfies the requirement of neither the statutes or the Constitution. So, when it comes to compliance of the statutes regarding vacancies and the Appointment Clause of the Constitution, Kari Lake is none of the above. Now, let's look at what the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran is doing to the world, those that we all feel the impact of. The most obvious to most consumers in America and worldwide is in the price of gasoline, which immediately ripples to many sectors of the economy. Airlines have easily adjusted the price of airline tickets to the cost of gas, and with uneasy travelers and declining sales due to fear of serious monetary situations. Prices at the gas pumps are affecting land transportation and thousands of individuals who drive for taxis, Ubers, and Lyfts, and shipping of goods carried by land transportation, like train and commercial trucks, which are starting to adapt to the fuel costs. Prices of commodities in grocery stores and supermarkets are being slowly adjusted, but families are noticing how fast their money goes on household needs. In the Philippines, the price of diesel has gone up to 110 pesos per liter, or about 440 pesos per gallon, or $7.58 per gallon, in a country where 98% of commercial land transportation uses diesel. Most Asian models of civilian sports utility vehicles also uses diesel. The choke point is the Strait of Hormuz, where up to 27% of the world's crude oil needs transits through the narrow channel that is controlled by Iran. Although the Iran Foreign Ministry said the ban is only for vessels that have direct commerce with America. In our world news, BBC News reports how the Iran war is disrupting worldwide travel. As the crisis escalates, here's what travelers in the Middle East and anyone planning a vacation there should know. On February 28th, a coordinated U.S.-Israeli military offensive known as Operation Epic Fury struck Iran, murdering the country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Since the original incident, the conflict has quickly spread to a dozen countries, including drone assaults on the British Royal Air Force, RAF, based in Cyprus, an EU member, and all Gulf Cooperation Council, GCC, members. And there have also been assaults on airports and civilian areas, particularly in the economic and tourist hubs of Dubai and Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, as well as Doha in Qatar. The Dubai airport, the world's busiest for international travel, was damaged by drone debris during the counter-strikes, forcing it to close for 3 days in a succession and stranding hundreds and thousands of people. A missile also struck the upscale Fairmont, the Palms Hotel in Dubai, resulting in a fire that was captured and extensively shared on social media. The retaliation, particularly against countries such as the UAE, surprised me and many others, said Dr. John Rose, Chief Risk Advisor at corporate travel management business Altor. While it was widely predicted that countries such as Israel would be targeted in retribution, the UAE has generally been seen as a secure location to travel in the area, with Dubai alone attracting around 20 million visitors in 2025. He emphasizes that traveler safety in the regions is top priority, emphasizing that no airport will reopen if it is realistically threatened. U.S. President Trump has stated that he expects the strikes to last several weeks. As the scenario unfolds in real time, many travelers are asking if and when it will be safe to travel out of the area. As the conflict escalates, countries around the world have issued increasingly escalating travel advisories, including a broad directive from the U.S. State Department on social media site X for American nationals to depart now from 14 Middle Eastern countries, including Egypt, which has not been directly impacted by the strikes or the offensive. The reality on the ground in each nation is varied and frequently changing, often by the hour. So, travelers should examine their personal risk profile and reasons for visiting. Here's how things stand in the affected countries at the time of publication. In Iran, all civilian travel to and from Iran is halted. Airspace was restricted shortly after the strikes began and remains so. The US, UK, Canada, and Australia have all issued their highest level advisories, while Canada has stated that its ability to assist residents is extremely limited. Overland border crossings into Turkey and Armenia remain accessible for anybody attempting to evacuate. In United Arab Emirates, while Iranian strikes have affected both Dubai International Airport and Abu Dhabi's Zayed International Airport, both are gradually resuming operations, with Etihad Airways resuming the first few flights out of Abu Dhabi and Emirates resuming the first out of Dubai. Airlines are offering free rebooking to travelers, and the UAE government has stated that it will pay food and lodging for the 20,200 travelers who are delayed in the nation. Many travelers are driving from the UAE to Oman, where flights continue to operate and the risk of attack is slightly lower than in other countries in the region. Many people were surprised when Oman's DUQM commercial port was bombed by Iranian drones, given that the country was assisting in the facilitation of peace talks between the United States and Iran. In a report from Al Jazeera, still relating to the war with Iran, at least one person was killed in Abu Dhabi. Flights in Dubai have been halted, and a fire has broken out in Fujairah following Iranian assaults. The United Arab Emirates has announced the diversion of certain aircraft from Dubai International Airport, one of the world's busiest, following a drone strike that caused a fire near the facility. Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, and Saudi Arabia have reportedly reported intercepting drones and missiles. And the Dubai Media Office reported that civil defense forces successfully contained the fire resulting from impact to one of the fuel tanks in the vicinity of the airport on Monday, with no injuries recorded. So on X, the office reported that several flights had been redirected to Al Maktoum International Airport. So meanwhile, the Dubai Civil Aviation Authority announced that flights at the airport will be suspended as a precautionary measure to ensure the safety of all passengers and staff. It did not specify when it expected flights to restart. The UAE Ministry of Defense has confirmed 6 casualties since the battle began on February 28, including 4 civilians and 2 military members killed in a chopper accident blamed on a technical error. Following Israel and the United States joint air assaults on Tehran on February 28, Iran has attempted to legitimize its attacks on Gulf countries by claiming that the presence of U.S. military bases on their land makes those countries valid targets. The GCC, the United Kingdom, and Jordan released a united statement criticizing Iranian aggression and urging for de-escalation. The Saudi Ministry of Defense stated on Monday that it has intercepted 3 waves of drones in the country's east. According to the report, 12 drones were destroyed in the most recent wave, with 6 shot down previously and another 5 intercepted earlier. The report came after the ministry said it caught 37 drones early in the morning. Attacks were also reported in Qatar on Sunday night, with the Ministry of Defense stating that all drones in its airspace had been intercepted. However, civilian infrastructure in the Gulf has been damaged, including landmarks, airports, ports, and oil facilities. The UAE, which normalized relations with Israel in 2020, has experienced the most of the attacks. Iran has launched over 1,800 missiles and drones at the UAE, more than any other country targeted by Tehran in the conflict, disrupting travel arrangements in the financial hub, despite its air defenses intercepting the great bulk of the projectiles. Every Gulf Arab state has been affected. Over 2,000 missile and drone attacks have been reported since the war began, prompting condemnation of Iran. In a report from Reuters, the West African country of Senegal paid nearly $500 million debt payments due on Friday last week, but budget cuts, delayed payments to other lenders, and growing public unrest raised concerns about the effort's effectiveness. Senegal experienced economic turbulence after the new government discovered unreported debts totaling $13 billion. After the discovery was publicized in September of 2024, the IMF halted assistance and Senegal lost access to international bond markets, leaving the country reliant on regional markets for finance. President Bassirou Diomaye Faye and Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko, who assumed office in April 2024, have frequently stated that Senegal will not default. 2 persons close to the matter told Reuters that all debt holders were paid by Friday evening. According to Yvette Bab, portfolio manager at William Blair, an investment banker, Authorities have agreed to making the roughly $480 million payments due on 2 Eurobonds on Friday. However, Senegal faces difficult choices in allocating finances, and making the payment may increase pressure to restrict budgets and spending like an austerity program. Senegalese folks are already outraged by some of these actions. Last month, a university student died amid aid protests. Teachers went on strike, and the construction industry lost tens of thousands of jobs, according to labor groups. Bond investors and analysts predict that the exit strategy will need more difficult decisions. Senegal's $13 billion concealed debt is the most ever recorded in a country with an International Monetary Fund program, according to bond investors, sovereign debt specialists, and attorneys. The tuna bonds controversy in Mozambique involved secret loans for the country's tuna fishing fleet totaling approximately $2 billion. To get IMF finance Senegal, like other countries, they must demonstrate debt sustainability or a plausible route to it. Governments in debt-ridden countries have additional options such as increasing tax collections, selling assets, or receiving financial assistance. The IMF estimates Senegal's debt to be 132% of its GDP by 2024, leaving limited room for adjustment. Senegal claims that budget cuts, more tax collections, and a developing economy will restore its finances. This month, the government announced plans to eliminate 19 federal organizations, resulting in approximately 1,000 job cuts and saving at least 55 billion CFA francs, or $98 million, in Senegal. Although a small country, it still has minerals for export. The government has canceled mining rights of hundreds of companies who were not properly registered and licensed, in an effort by the new government to obtain all kinds of income to fund the government and its debts. We're going to take a commercial break. Please stay with us for an interview with a candidate for a seat in the North Las Vegas City Council.
Pure Medical Equipment provides top-notch quality medical supply equipment. Whether to rent or buy, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies has it all.
Pure Medical Equipment is committed to serve and give back to Southern Nevada.
We deliver medical supplies and rentals to your door.
With us now here at our PhilMTV studios is Sherry Struthers, who is running for North Las Vegas City Council, Ward 1. Sherry, welcome to The Pulse.
Thank you, Jess.
Before we go into any questions, why don't you just introduce yourself and give us your background?
First of all, I'd like to commend the Pulse for the outstanding work that they do, keeping the Filipino American and the AAPI community informed. I'm a retired Navy Chief Warrant Officer 4. I served 30 years of active duty service. I'm a licensed realtor here in the North Las Vegas area, and I've spent my career serving this country, and now I'm serving my community and helping veterans and seniors find homes and build wealth right here in Las Vegas.
Great. And then since you have spent the 30 years of service to this country in the U.S. Navy, what made you decide, Sherry, to run for elected office in your city?
Well, that's a good question, Jessica. As I look around and see the state of the world and what's going on today, I decided that I wanted to be a part of positive change. Mm-hmm. The people in Ward 1, we are the older part of the city of North Las Vegas, and it also includes the downtown area, which is used to be called Northtown. And I want to focus on building there, attracting businesses that pay living wages. Mm-hmm. And so as a grandmother that's got a lot of time on her hands, I figure I could make those changes. I'm also a local real estate agent. I've met a lot of the people in the community. I know what they're dealing with, and I want to make sure that I can help.
Great. And then so this is a two-part question I have for you next. One, what are the residents in Ward 1, because you mentioned you've already been reaching out and you're familiar with them, you're expressing to you about their situation first? And two, what is your wish list to accomplish for Ward 1 and the city of North Las Vegas if you get elected?
Thank you. As I knock on the doors, I talk to the people of North Las Vegas, and the one consistent problem is affordability. It's hard. People are having a hard time affording where they live. They're just affording the things that they buy every day, and now the gas prices are going up. And with all of that going on, people feel like they're not being heard. And my priorities are pretty straightforward. I want to have attainable housing, good jobs, and safe neighborhoods. Now, I'm working on a plan. Boxable is the company that makes those small modular homes. It's actually in Ward 1. I visited them, and I'm just trying to come up with creative ways to help resolve that problem. And those are things I want to talk to the mayor once I win the election.
Is that development?
The Boxable company?
Yeah.
Well, what it is they make modular. So the trick of it is that it's actually a box. It travels and it looks just like a box. And they open it up. I think they're between 500, 700 square feet total. And they make wonderful little studio apartments.
Okay.
They can stack them on top of each other.
A tiny house.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and now they stack them on top of each other where there's a first and second floor.
Right. Yes.
And they're approximately $60,000 total.
Wow, that's very inexpensive and affordable to me.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
it's also space saving and probably sustainable, right?
It is.
We're working with that.
And as we look for creative ways to find answers to those problems, that's just one of those things we could consider. There are abandoned buildings and old factories, maybe repurposing those, just trying to think of creative ways that don't require additional monies because budgets are tight right now.
Exactly. And I know that at this point in time, there are 3 of you vying for the seat in the primary, and How's it going for you in the campaign trail?
Actually, Jessica, it's going really well. I can't say enough good things about my team. I have an amazing support system, and the people that are volunteering, they're giving it 150%. I feel really good about the campaign, and I'll tell you, as a 30-year veteran, I'm not a politician. I haven't done this all my life. I know the community, and as I talk to those people, it's very important that I find those ways. And so knowing that I'm talking to those people, I have a wonderful campaign going, I'm very enthusiastic about it.
Great. And so we're almost out of time for this segment. So the last words are from you, Sherry. Feel free to pitch to your voters out there.
If you live in North Las Vegas, I want your vote. I am a person that is dedicated to making a difference. I've served this country with pride, and now I currently serve this country, this community, as a real estate agent. I will put you first. I will work hard for you. And if anyone knows June Almario Fernando, he was my mentor in the United States Navy. I'm saying hello to him, and I really want your vote. You can reach me at Sherry, Sherry, 4 FOR, Nevada, NEVDA.com.
Sherry Struthers, candidate for City Council of North Las Vegas, Ward 1. Thank you for talking to us today, and good luck on your race.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And to our viewers, I'm Jessica Rolla. Thank you for watching, and join us again next week here at The Pulse. God bless your week.